everybody, and happy Friday the 13th. I know a lot of people who are superstitious and think Friday the 13th is a bad thing, but in our family, it's not because my older son, Jeffa, was born on the 13th and he likes Friday the 13th. So it's a good one for us. So I hope it's a good one for all of you. And I hope everyone watching now and those watching later, I hope you've had a good week and are ready for the weekend. I know I am looking forward to this much deserved weekend, and I get to see my bestie on Sunday and have cocktails and go to a craft show. It's a holiday craft show, so I guess we're going to get into the holiday spirit a little early. I am Terry True Crime, and welcome to Midday Missing, where I cover current missing person cases. I first want to thank everyone for their understanding on me postponing Monday's live stream until today. I really hated that I had to do it, but had a family situation and wasn't able to join. So we are here today on a Friday. And for those of you that are new here, currently True Crime and Wine Time Productions produces the podcast True Crime and Wine Time, the Hey Ho Show, the investigation into the disappearance of Chase Lackey, Night Court, Women on Death Row, of course, Midday Missing, and coming soon, we have my new series that will drop for the general public on October 1st. For our channel members, you will get it on September 24th. So I thought I would play a little quick video for you guys. Okay, just a quick little sneak peek on that. So, Dearest Mother's Darkest Secrets is coming, and I will tell you to date the darkest, most challenging series I've ever been involved in. I think JT being involved with active shooter probably also feels that way about active shooter. It's very dark, but I also think it's something that needs to be shared more because I thought there was gonna be a couple of cases of mothers who kill their children, and guys, I'm shocked at the number of cases there are to cover and how many have to do with mental illness. So I think it's something that is very important for us to talk about. But today we are talking about Madalaina. And Madalaina is an adorable 12-year-old girl. And I am going to try to share her picture. Guys, remember, I am trying to get better at this. Let's see how I did. I think I'm almost there. Got it. How about that? Terry was able to get it done. So, Madalaina Cojocari was a 12-year-old student at Bailey Middle School in Cornelius, North Carolina. She vanished without a trace in 2022, and her disappearance is perplexing and troubling. And guys, it's one that still leaves my head spinning. So the last confirmed sighting of Madalena was on November 21st, 2022, when she was captured on surveillance footage getting off the school bus near her home. Now, this occurred just days before school went on Thanksgiving break. Despite this being the last time anyone saw her, it would take nearly 3 weeks for her disappearance to be reported to authorities. Guys, this is a delay that has drawn significant scrutiny and criticism. And I'm just going to tell you, leaves me wanting to say, what in the hell? How can a child be missing for 3 weeks before someone reports her missing? Okay. Madalena's mother, Diana Cojocari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmitter, were living with Madalena at the time of her disappearance. However, neither parent reported her missing immediately. Okay. A fact that all the investigators are wondering what in the hell like me. Guys, the first sign of concern came from school officials when Madalena failed to show up. So on December 15th, after being summoned to the school for a meeting, Diana, Madalena's mother, finally admitted that her daughter had been missing for weeks. Guys, what in the hell? Somebody please tell me, what in the hell? Because I don't understand. I don't. I'm not trying to blame anyone, but I am going to tell you that makes me very suspicious of the parents because my child doesn't come home from school one day. I'm calling the police that day. I'm not waiting a couple weeks, and I'm not waiting until the school questions me on where my daughter's been to decide to confess. Okay. Now, this delay in reporting was a huge misstep, according to law enforcement. And it's like, yeah, no doubt, right? Cornelius Police Chief David Thompson has described the case as frustrating, particularly because the lost time made the search for Madalena even more difficult than a missing person case already is. Sorry, guys. Thompson expressed his concern over the delay and stating, and I quote, I don't want anybody to think that after 3 weeks, Diana had this, okay, well, it's time, highlighting the inconsistencies in her comments and behaviors. Okay, guys, really? 3 weeks? Yeah, that's a problem. Once the authorities were notified, a search of their home was quickly organized. Okay. During the search, officers found that some of Madalena's personal belongings, including clothes and her backpack, were missing, which raised immediate concerns that she might have been taken or had run away. Guys, I've said this before. Even if you think your child ran away, you call the damn police. There are perverts and bad people all over the place. They are just looking for that prime person. And a runaway who's an adorable 12-year-old little girl is a prime target. So even if you think your child ran away, you call the damn cops. And if they tell you, oh, you need to wait, you say no, it's a 12-year-old child. And if they still don't want to listen to them, tell them to call me. I'll be more than happy to come down. So now, with me saying that, the family has not said she ran away. That was just police speculation because her backpack and clothes were gone. Now, investigators were left with little to go on, but they say the circumstances of her disappearance combined with the parents' actions made them primary suspects. The delay in reporting Madalena missing and her belonging, and the conflicting stories that the mother and stepfather told. Okay, guys, that is a problem to me. It, I I can't. I just can't. But anyway, in December of 2022, Diana Cojocari and Christopher Palmater were both arrested and charged with failing to report a missing child, which, as it should be, is a felony under North Carolina law. Thank you, police officers. The arrest marked a turning point in the investigation, but it also revealed the strained relationship between the two parents. Each immediately began pointing fingers at the other, offering conflicting accounts of what might have happened to Madalena. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you this next couple of things really makes my blood boil. I'm glad they were arrested and held accountable, but I'm not okay with what I'm about to tell you. Diana pled guilty to the charges. She was sentenced to 6 to 17 months in prison. But guys, because she spent 520 days in jail awaiting trial, she was released without having to serve additional time. Please, somebody explain to me how that is enough time when the child is still missing. So, on the other hand, Palmeter, who pleaded not guilty, was given 30 months of supervised probation. Yeah, you heard me. Probation. Following his conviction, he filed for divorce from Diana in June of 2024, a move that made, distance him further from the case and the allegations against him. Now, the relationship between Diana and Palmeter was fraught with tension, and this was evident in the conflicting narratives they provided to investigators. Palmeter claimed that Diana had sent Madalena to live with relatives in Moldavo, a claim that Diana's family vehemently denied. Instead, Diana's relatives accused Palmeter of selling Madalena for money. And guys, that's a shocking allegation that of course added another layer of complexity to an already screwed up case. Now, these conflicting stories have only muddied the waters further, making it difficult for investigators to determine the truth. And the lack of cooperation between the two parents and their continued blame game have left everybody, including authorities, with more answers than questions. Now, despite the extensive search and numerous tips from the public, there have been no substantial leads in locating Madalena. Now, the Cornelius Police Department, along with other law enforcement agencies, are continuing to investigate. But, guys, they've admitted the trail has gone cold. The delay in the parents reporting her disappearance, coupled with their conflicting stories, has made this almost impossible. And, guys, that's why I don't think 17 months in prison sentence was enough. She spent 520 days and he got probation. I'm sorry. Why can't we hold them there until they tell the truth? Somebody tell me. That's my justice. I want a law, Terry True Crimes law. If you refuse to cooperate with the police, or if you refuse to tell that your child's missing, you should sit your happy ass in jail until you're ready to talk. Just my 2 cents. Just my 2 cents. But in an effort to reignite the investigation and encourage new leads, on August 29th of this year, Governor Roy Cooper's office announced a $25,000 reward for information leading to Madalena's whereabouts. Guys, this is a big deal. They want to keep this case in the media's attention, and they want you to call in if you have any information. Now, I'm going to warn you guys. I'm about to probably piss all of you off. Sorry, guys. My nose is itching today um, because this pisses me off. After she was released, Diana, are you ready for this? There was talk that they were going to deport her back to Moldova, where she had originally come from on a green card. However, she left the United States before any deportation could be initiated. And according to Facebook posts, she was reportedly headed to Romania, a move that further jacks up this case. Okay. US authorities have said that there was nothing they could do to prevent her from leaving the country once she was released. Okay, guys, tell me why she's out of jail, especially allowed to leave the country when one of the theories is maybe she sent Madalena to Moldova. I mean, guys, I hope in my heart that that is where she is. I hope she was sent to live with family and that something tragic hasn't happened to her. But why can't you keep her in the US until her child is found when she didn't report her missing? Anybody? Anybody? I mean, I'm looking around like somebody's going to give me an answer, right? Now, Christopher Palmeter has returned to Cornelius and is reportedly trying to resume his life. He is back in the home he once shared with Madalena and Diana. But, guys, I'm going to tell you, people still are keeping an eye on him, and the community is very skeptical of him. And I'm going to say I agree with them because it is suspicious. Even if you were married to her, Diana, and you thought she was a tyrant, and you didn't want to piss your wife off. Guess what? Your stepdaughter was missing. You could have called the cops behind your wife's back, unless, of course, you had something to do with it. Just saying, my opinion only, sir. I hope that's not the case, but you've told different stories, you've lied. So what else are we supposed to think? So the disappearance of Madalaina Cojocari is deeply frustrating for everyone involved. And I'm going to tell you, I am deeply frustrated. I am pissed off that mom only spent 520 days in jail and was able to leave the country. So if they find her remains, I don't think Romania has an extradition policy, but I'm going to have to look into that. I did not have time to look into that, but it concerns me. Now, all of the community is still looking for a resolution. Law enforcement wants to find her, but they say the likelihood diminishes every day. Guys, as a mom, I can't I can't understand. I mean, yeah, they were going to threaten to deport you, but they hadn't done it yet. If my daughter truly went missing and I had nothing to do with it, you would have to drag me to the airport to deport me. I would want to stay in the country, in the city where my daughter went missing. Now, if I needed to move out of the city because it was too much to handle, I would still want to be close enough to go and look for her. Now, if it had been 5 years, I can understand maybe moving away. We're talking less than 2 years, lady. It's a problem for me. Okay. Authorities are remaining vigilant, and the recent reward has rekindled some hope that someone somewhere might come forward with information that could give answers. It's a total mystery. And it is a reminder that I want to remind everyone, do not delay reporting a loved one missing. Every second you delay causes the case to be harder to solve. Okay. It leads to so many problems. And then conflicting stories, changing stories by the parents makes it almost impossible. And I agree with what someone said in the comments that maybe they did that intentionally. I agree. I can't help but think they didn't report her because they wanted the case to go cold. I truly hope, and I'm going to tell you, I truly hope she was sent to Moldova and that she is alive and unharmed there. And I want to tell family members there, if she is there, please call the authorities in Cornelius and tell them law enforcement and the community deserves to know that she's okay if she was sent there. Mom's out of the country. I don't think they can do anything to her now. So why not tell? You can call them anonymously. Okay. If you have any information regarding Madalaina Cojocari, please call 704 892 7773. Because, guys, mom's not calling to check. And if mom's not calling the police all the time to find out what's going on with the case, in my heart of hearts tells me she knows something. I want to let that sit for a second. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm becoming cynical. I don't know. But this little girl, look at that face. She is precious. And we need to know what happened to her. Okay. Now, that is my only case today. And I do have a palate cleanser, but I have to say, it is compliments of a very good friend of mine who created this adorable character and allowed me, he writes stories about celery stalk. Oh, someone says in our chat, Moldova does not have a bilateral extradition or mutual legal assistance treaty with the United States. I didn't think they did. So, even more why they need to tell. And also, if she was sent out of the country, Didn't she have to have a passport? Or did they get a fake passport? I don't know. I have so many questions. I really hope she's there. Now, let me introduce you to Celery Stalk. Celery Stalk, like I said, is a character written by my friend who is a writer, and you are going to love this. Celery Stalk in the Secret Vineyard. In a quaint meadow not far from a bustling village, there lived a charming bunny named Celery Stalk. She was as fluffy as a cloud, with snow white fur and twinkling eyes that held a world of curiosity. Celery Stalk had many interests: nibbling on fresh vegetables, hopping through flower filled fields, and exploring hidden nooks of the forest. But there was one thing she loved more than anything else: wine. Yes, Celery Stalk, that's why we are good friends. You see, Celery Stalk was not your average bunny. She had a refined taste and a nose for the finer things in life. Every evening after a long day of exploring, Celery Stalk would slip away to a secret spot only she knew about: a hidden vineyard nestled at the edge of the meadow. The vineyard belonged to a kind old winemaker who had a soft spot for the curious little bunny. He had discovered her one evening sniffing around the grapevines, her nose twitching in delight. Instead of shooing her away, the winemaker welcomed Celery Stalk and offered her a tiny glass of his finest wine. To his surprise, the bunny took a delicate sip and her eyes lit up with pure joy. Same, Celery Stalk. That is why you are my favorite bunny in the world. From that day on, Celery Stalk would visit the vineyard regularly. The winemaker would pour her a small glass of his latest creation, and they would sit together under the stars, enjoying the peacefulness of the evening. Celery Stalks particularly loved the sweet, fruity wines, and the winemaker often saved the best bottles just for her. Mr. Winemaker, we need to become friends because I need you to save the wine for me. After the last 7 days, I deserve a case. Just saying. One evening, a celery stalk was sipping her wine and nibbling on a fresh celery stalk. Because, guys, even a bunny with a taste for wine had to stay true to her roots. Okay? She had to nibble on some celery stalk. She noticed something strange. The grapes in the vineyard were disappearing, not just a few here and there, but entire clusters had gone missing. Concerned for her friend, Celery Stalk decided to investigate. With her keen senses and a glass of wine for courage, she set off on a nocturnal adventure through the vineyard. As she hopped between the rows of vines, she soon discovered the culprits: mischievous, naughty little raccoons who had developed a taste for the sweet grapes. They were snatching the fruit and making off with it before the winemaker could harvest them and turn them into fabulous wine. Determined to help, Celery Stalk hatched a plan. She rounded up her woodland friends, squirrels, birds, and a few fellow bunnies, and together they formed a protective watch over the vineyard, kind of like a neighborhood watch program. Each night they would stand guard, scurrying away the raccoons with their playful antic and ensuring the grapes were safe. The winemaker was delighted when he saw that his precious grapes were no longer disappearing. He knew that Celery Stalk was behind this mysterious protection, and he was more grateful than words could express. To thank her, he created a special blend of wine just for Celery Stalk. It was a sweet with just a hint of celery, and he named it Celery's Reserve. Guys, that makes, I know it's not true, but it makes my little heart go pitter patter. Celery Stalk was thrilled with the gesture and shared the wine with all of her friends in the meadow. They had a grand celebration, toasting to friendship, courage, and the joy of sharing good wine with those you care about. And so, Celery Stalk continued to live her life full of adventures, surrounded by friends, delicious food, and of course, wine. She knew that life was about savoring every moment, whether it was a crisp stalk of celery or a glass of the perfect vintage. And guys, I wanted to share that little story with you just to remind us all, especially myself, after the week I've had, the last 7, I guess 9 days have been absolute hell. But you know what? It's about savoring every moment in life, even the hard times, because the hard times will make us appreciate the good times even more. And also to remind us, all of these families who are missing their loved ones, there is still hope. Hope that you will one day get the answers. Hope that one day somebody will do the right thing and come forward and tell what they know. Because, as I say often, and you're probably tired of hearing it, aliens do not come down and steal our loved ones. Sorry, guys, it's a myth. Just like immigrants do not eat our cats and dogs. Okay, we're not going to get political, but I'm just going to tell you they're not doing it. Just like the aliens are not taking people. And people truly cannot disappear without someone not knowing something. So please be sure to share Madaleina's missing person flyer that will be posted on our social media as soon as this live stream ends. Let's help find her. If her family's not wanting to know, her mom, guess what? The community wants to know. Law enforcement wants to know. I want to know what happened to this precious little girl. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you all again on Monday for our next episode of Midday Missing. I'm pretty sure there is a hey ho tonight with JT, Rude Boy, and Miss Llama. So if you need some Friday night antics and balls of laughs, and there might even be balls on there, you never know, you definitely want to check out the Hey Ho Show. But I want to remind you, subscribe to our page so you don't miss any of our content and you get notified of when we have new shows coming out. Also, remember you can get our podcast, True Crime and Wine Time, anywhere you get your podcast apps. And as always, stay safe, watch out for crime, and guys, enjoy your wine time because I will be partaking a lot this weekend. So, bye, guys. I will see you all on Monday.